The story of God's faithfulness in the midst of upheaval. Linda was in a car accident on December 27th, 2019. This is her testimony of God's faithfulness, not just since the accident, but throughout her life. Linda, what were your thoughts as the accident happened?
Right before, I saw this truck not stopping, and I'm going 55 miles an hour, and he didn't stop at the stop sign. And I glance to the left to see oncoming traffic, and there's a ditch, and I'm braking, and I knew there was no way out, no safe place to go. As I'm braking, I just say, God, you've got this, and close my eyes.
Were you scared?
No, I was at a peace. It brought back memories of another time that I had been in a tornado, and I was holding on to the steering wheel, and I had fear then for a short second, for a couple seconds, thinking my body was going into the field through this glass, but I just held on to the steering wheel, and I don't remember the words I said then, but I was talking to God then also.
How did God protect you then? What did He do?
It's been a long time ago. That was back in the 80s. I just remember driving on the back road. I remember it storming. I remember the lightning flashing on the hill, and then there was darkness, just complete darkness, and something hit me from the side, and I was in the midst, later on finding out I was in the midst of this tornado that swished through Nevada and Trenton, and the metal had gone around the car and protected me, and I know that that was God protecting me in that tornado.
When did you first sense God was with you?
Just knowing that I had no control over what was going to happen to me. There was nothing left in me to do anything different. So it was all up to Him. I mean, if He took me to be with Him, or if I stayed here on earth, whatever. Just knowing He was there, I had peace about it. So when I woke up, I still had peace about it.
Linda, how do you view life differently today?
Each moment is so important. My life has definitely slowed down considerably. My memory has slowed me down. I received a concussion, so that has caused processing issues and eye issues, but it has slowed me down to really spend time with the Lord each day. I'm learning more about Him through the Word, and when I'm in the presence of someone, that I try to spend the time with them.
As a result of the accident, is your faith stronger today?
I would say yes, because I've gotten to spend more time with Him. But then yes, because it's one more thing He has carried me through. One more event that I can say, God did this. And there was nothing I did. He always has me in the palm of His hand. I can trust my life with. I can trust my family's life with. because He wants the best for me. He has my best interest in the forefront of of the things that happen on a day-to-day basis.
What would you like to share with others as God has walked you through this process?
God is faithful, and He's sovereign, and He loves me. He wants the best for me. He wants the best for those that follow Him. He always provided for me in whatever needed to happen in my care. He's carrying me through even now, and He has provided all that I've needed.
What would you like to share with those who prayed for you in both your highs and your lows?
I just thank God for my family, my friends, for all those that prayed for me. Was such an important part of what happened and what didn't happen. I didn't have any broken bones and I wasn't bleeding. I know through all of this, though, that God is still taking me through this. In whatever happens or doesn't happen, whether I get to work again as a nurse or not as a nurse, on the floor or something else, I don't know, but I just know that I want to be in God's will, because that is where my peace and my joy is. And I'm still gonna give God the glory.
When someone asked how could they pray for you, how did you respond?
I never really wanted them to pray for my physical healing. I just wanted God's will. So that's what I would pray. Maybe my healing could be a hindrance in what God's will is and plan for someone else in my family or those around me in their best interest. I have been praying for several years that God would do what He needs to do in my family to bring them to a knowledge of Him, a saving knowledge of Him. That they would, when they die, they'll be in heaven along with me and the rest of the other believers in my family. And I continue to pray that He would do in me whatever it needs to take. I pray that whatever He needs to do to allow that to happen, that I am willing to go through that. And somehow I believe that this accident is part of that plan.
Linda, would you like to share a scripture that has helped carry you through this?
My plans are not His plans. My thoughts are not His thoughts. This scripture in Proverbs 19:21 has also been a big part of this process, because James and I have had plans after retirement, and so those have changed considerably. And this scripture, Proverbs 19:21, many are the plans in a man's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails. And that is very reassuring for me, because even though our plans may not happen, again, being in God's will gives me such peace and joy that if it's God's purpose, then I want to be there.